Good afternoon. Today we are continuing on our unit with X and Y intercepts. Today we are working on CO53. I can identify the X-intercept and Y-intercept of a line given an equation. So our last objective, we actually saw the graph. So it was really easy to see where that X-intercept was because we saw where it crossed the X-axis. Now, we're not going to have that graph. So what is true about the ordered pair of every X-intercept? Oh, we just talked about this when we were correcting. What is true about the ordered pair of every X-intercept, Grace? The Y is always zero. What is true about every single Y-intercept, Owen? X is always zero. James. So the above answers are important because it helps us understand why we do what we do when solving an equation for the X-intercept and the Y-intercept. So to find the X-intercept, we solve for X when Y equals, what do you think? What are we going to put in for our Y value? A zero. So then to find the Y-intercept, we're going to solve for Y when what are we going to put in for X? Zero. So we're going to have two letters, X and Y, in our equation, but we know the value of one of them. Okay, we have to think, what intercept are we doing? Because I know there's going to be a zero going in. So I need to know where I'm going to put that zero. So these equations are in a different form. So look at this form. AX plus BY equals C. So this form helps identify the intercepts. So we're going to use this form to find our X and our Y's, the X-intercept and the Y-intercept. So if we look at this first one, 3X plus 8Y equals 24. So I'm going to put it into two different sides.
I think I'm getting this.
So I'm going to solve for my X-intercept, and then I'm going to solve for my Y-intercept. So what do you think I need to do to solve for my X-intercept? What do I have to do to solve for the X-intercept? Damien?
You have to find that the Y is zero.
Yeah, so I'm going to rewrite my equation, 3X plus 8 times 0 equals 24. Now I'm going to solve for my X. So how do I do that? What is 8 times 0? 0. So that's going to cancel out. So I have 3X equals 24. Can I solve that?
Yeah.
How, Grayson?
You do 3 divided by 3 is 24 divided by 3. The 3 cancels out, and then you do it.
I want to get X by itself, so I'm going to say 3 divided by 3. And whatever I do to one side, I have to do to my other side. I have to balance it out. 3 divided by 3 gives me my 1X. 24 divided by 3 gives me an 8. So what is my ordered pair for the X-intercept, Grace? 8, 0. So I know my ordered pair is 8, 0 for that X-intercept. That is my final answer. The X-intercept is an ordered pair. The X-intercept is not X equals 8. You have to put it as an ordered pair. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Claire?
We always
Well, you do what the directions say. Solve the equation for the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So that's why I divided it into two sides. I have x-intercept on this side. Now I have to solve for the y-intercept. So how am I going to write my equation now? Claire?
What do we just do it backwards so then we put?
Claire, what do I do to solve for my y-intercept? Yeah, I'm going to put a 0 in for the x this time. Okay, so I would say 3 times 0 plus 8y equals 24. 3 times 0 is 0. So now I'm at 8y equals 24. And what do I have to do to find my y, Gabe? Yeah, I need to divide both sides by 8. So 8 divided by 8 gives me my y. 24 divided by 8 gives me 3. So what is my y-intercept? Jude? 0, 3. Because my x is 0. It's very important that we remember where that 0 goes. Okay? Is it important that we show our steps? Yes. You cannot just look at this and say, I'm going to solve this mental math and give an ordered pair as your answer. I want you to show your work. I do not want to just see ordered pairs. Let's do one more together. Feel that? So let's look at our next one. If you run out of room, this is why I say we don't draw on that blank paper right next to you. You need to do some over on that blank side that's right next to it. You can if you need to get a piece of loose leaf because we're running out of room and you need more space, you can get a piece of loose leaf to put in there to show your work. What would my equation be for the x-intercept? Lauren.
5x plus 2 times 0.
5x plus 2 times 0 equals the 30. We know 2 times 0 is 0, so we have 5x equals 30. What do I have to do? Blakely?
Divide 5 on both of them.
Divide by 5 on both sides. So I get x equals 6. So what is my x-intercept? Owen? 6, 0. Remember when we write those ordered pairs, you need those parentheses. You need it separated with a comma. So make sure you're writing your ordered pairs correctly. To find my y-intercept, what equation do I use, Jude?
5 times 0 plus 2 y equals 30.
So 5 times 0 we know is 0. So we have 2y equals 30. What do I have to do now, Jude?
Divide 30 or 2 into 30.
Divide by 2 on both sides. So I'm left just with that one y. 30 divided by 2 is 15. So what is my y-intercept? Gabe? 0, 15. So now on the last problem, Claire had said, well, can't we just go backwards, right? So if x is 8 here, y is going to be 3. Kind of worked on this one because they both went into 24. But look at this. The 6 and the 15, you can't figure that. You have to do the equation for both. You can't just say, oh, it's going to go backwards.
Oh, I'm not gonna just put the 0.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Yes. So yes, we just put the 0
Yeah.
for the other letter. Gabe,
I thought it was way simpler version.
what?
So you could do the 5 divided by the 30, the 6s,
Mm-hmm.
to the x's, and then do the y, 2 divided by 15. Or 2 divided by 30 is 15.
30 divided by 2. 2 divided by 30 would give us 30 divided by 2. Well, that is what we're doing.
Yeah.
30 divided by 2, 30 divided by the 5.
Yeah, mine's like,
So why do I have us show all of those steps?
so I don't know what to have to do.
So we fully understand the steps, so when we get to more challenging math, we're gonna know those steps. Okay, so that's why I actually want us to show our work, because it is going to get more challenging. I guarantee it. Oof, Rosa is doing Calc 2 in college. It is way more challenging than this. She needed to have mastered this when she was in Pre Algebra, so she can do her Calc 2. Okay, so you're right. You could just look at this and say, oh, I'm going to do 30 divided by 5 or 30 divided by 2. But I want you to show your steps so we truly know the steps. So what is it I want you to do, Kyle? Show every step. Show your steps. Henry.
For number 3, what do we do there? Do we do anything different for subtracting it?
Yeah, you have to multiply instead of divide it, just as just.
Well, you're going to end up with a negative at one point. So let's look at that. If we have, for the x-intercept, we would have 3x minus 6 times 0 equals 42. Minus 0, we're ended up with just that 3x equals 42. But for our y-intercept, this is important. We have 3 times 0 minus 6y equals 42. When 3 times 0 zeroes out, that minus sign becomes a negative sign. It doesn't just disappear. It becomes a negative 6. So minus 6y becomes a negative 6y.
Minus.
Because there would be a 0 here, but we don't need to put the 0 there. So that minus becomes negative. So that's going to change your answer, because you need to divide by a negative 6, divide by negative 6. So we have y equals what? What is 42 divided by negative 6? Negative 7. So that subtracting does make a difference, because it's going to turn one of the numbers negative. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, so we are going to work on the rest of this page. It is a one-pager. I do want you to go slow. We do have time. So there is no reason for somebody to say they are done right now. Right? Show your work. Do all the steps. I don't want anybody to say, but I can do it in my head. I know you can do some of these in your head. I can do it in my head. I get it. But I'm giving us time. So that gift of time is to help us master the steps. Because this unit will get more complicated. Math will get more complicated as we go through the years. We need to master these beginning stages, these beginning objectives, so we can do the harder math. Matthew. Yes. If you just give me an ordered pair, I will not give you credit. I'm saying right now, show your work. Show all the steps. Yes? Yes. Yep. You can definitely do the steps. And then like Gabe said, hey, some of these I know how, like, for me personally, I don't know 7.2 divided by 1.8 in my head. Some of them might be a little more complicated, but yeah, you can do it with the easier ones. Does that answer make sense? Yeah. So it's going to logically check, does my answer make sense? If you are watching this at home, I hope you are well. I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day.